Hello, this is Lana. I'm just sitting here on a beautiful sunlit afternoon on December 16th, 2021. And I've been alluding to, with some of my friends and with all those in Patreon, those members and those that I know on that level, about my desire or how the Council of Wisdom is desirous of me getting comfortable with channeling them. So I'm determined to do everything that I can to do that, to get to that point of letting go of any reservations that I have about it and any misconceptions that I may have, anything that's make me feeling a little bit apprehensive about it. And so in doing that is just sitting and practicing and allowing them to speak through me and offer a number of different ideas, concepts, and also some directions. What they often do is they give me an idea. They'll give me a question to ask them, and then we sit together and then they answer that question. So that's kind of where this went today with the experimental processes I'm going through with them. It's about the 6th recording that I've done today, just getting comfortable with them, feeling how my body does indeed do some odd shifts and feels a little bit weird, and getting comfortable with that. But what they suggested that I asked them, because the question is asked over and over and over again, and most people that I know, it's a big question for them, and they would really love to get some sort of a sound answer, something specific, which is, that question is, how can I connect telepathically with my guides or with the angels? How can I communicate telepathically so that I know that I'm making the right moves and right choices in my life? So that is a question that I posed to the council today. With their guidance, they just said, ask us, and then we will give you an answer that people can use and benefit from. So with that said, I'm just going to wait. I can feel them wanting to reply to that and answer that question. So give me just a moment until I feel that they are present. And they're saying that they're here. We're here. An interesting question you pose, a very interesting question, and one that is so relevant to the growth patterns of every individual on the planet today. People don't understand that talking telepathically is not a gift. It is a must-have. It is an imperative. It is important that everyone can communicate telepathically, not only with Source, but with one another at some point in the future, the near future, by the way. Being able to communicate with one another on that level is extremely important, and it will be the wave of the future. But today, now, you are trying to learn how to communicate with your angels, with your guides. And the idea behind that is knowing that most people seek outward, they seek upward, they seek way, way out in the heavens, trying to communicate in the far distant future, or out where Star Trek would have been filmed, supposedly, in the cosmos. When all in all, what you're connecting to a source, which is you. You are forever connected to Source. It isn't that you make a connection outside of yourself, it's that you make a connection inside, because your mind in that frequency and the way that those neurons function is already connected to Source. You came in here connected to Source. When you disconnect to Source, you die. So, knowing that you are alive and those neurons are functioning properly, the key is to get those neurons firing at a much higher rate. This is literally the physical description of this. Less of a spiritual aspect, and move it into the physical realm where you dwell. And understand that you have to do everything that you can that you know will raise your vibration to a high frequency, versus what most people attempt, which is getting very, very low frequency, getting very quiet, and just sitting and waiting for some miraculous thing to happen in that stillness. When in essence you have disconnected from a much higher frequency, which you cannot then connect to at the low frequency. The low frequency is very long, abrupt waves. moving like a heartbeat, moving like the pulse of the earth, moving at that hertz. Where the high frequency is that frequency is moving very, very rapidly in very, very short bursts, but very, very informative and filled with this beautiful electric energy. Soft electrical energy. Uplifting, enhancing, beautifying. You feel it flood through you. You feel that frequency begin to move through your mind and through your body. And the more that you connect with it, and the more that you get out of that lulled, slow state that you've been conditioned to believe you had to go into, and you move yourself up to that high frequency, you're therefore connected to Source. Because Source is at a very, very high frequency. But be mindful of the fact that Source is not out there somewhere. Source is in you. You have that Source frequency moving through you, around you, with everyone, all at the same time, all the time. Everywhere. You don't have to go somewhere to connect to Source. You do need to go inward. Not into your heart, not into your chakra system, into your mind. You go in and examine what's going on in there, what thoughts are in there that are pervasive, that prevent you from staying at a higher frequency. You need to be at the 5th or 6th dimension most of your day, most of your life. By now, with the evolutionary processes going on in the planet right now, you should be at those levels. And most people get up there for a little while and then, oh, I have to go back and ground so that I don't feel like this. I feel a little uneasy. And so they go right back into the 3rd dimension and shut everything down from Source. So realizing that the 5th dimension, 6th dimension are accessible simply by how you think and how you see yourself and what you believe and how you understand your ability to just simply step up there and connect, reconnect to Source in a way that you understand your connection. Listening to the thought patterns that come through, listening to the words that are mentioned and whispered to you, and moving with that, going that direction. Turning your head quickly to note that there's something off to the left that's coming toward you to share something with you. Frequencies are active and they're moving. They're not static. And they're not just sitting there someplace vibrating. They move, they shift, and with that information flows with it. So if you're connecting to that thing that is waiting to connect to you, then that Source begins to give you that information that you so desire and need. So when you go inward and you go into your mind and you know that everything in your nervous system has been activated, such as the Kundalini begins at the base of the spine and then you move up further, activating all the ganglion in your spine, which activates anywhere the nervous system, and that gets you to a higher frequency when that's active. Otherwise, you're at a very low frequency. Your nervous system is your electrical system. Think about it. It's like you haven't been plugged in yet. You're at 110 and you need to be vibrating at 220. The voltage has to be high. And in order to get that high, you have to allow your body to adjust to that higher frequency. So if you feel a little bit uneasy and a little queasy and a little dizzy, that will subside as your body adjusts to that frequency. So moving yourself there, however you find to do that, once you're activated in your spine and the soul star chakra has been activated above, or your Akashic record, and you go on above that as high as you can reach, and you know that you have those activations done, then you know that you can sit and connect to Source and wait for those answers to come through. It's just a matter of trust. So when you go into your mind, what you have to do is realize any thought in there of disbelief, of doubt, of lack of trust and fear, that ever-pervasive, live, living, thriving, breathing, intoxicating energy that people seem to dwell in. Release the fear. Step out of the fear. Step out completely out of any fearful state that is an extremely low but very powerful vibration on your planet. It prevents 99% of people from ever reaching that vibration that they need to find in order to connect back to Source so that they can communicate and get directions that they need. And then learn to stay there in the 5th and 6th and 7th dimensions. Moving up as you need to, adjusting as you need to. Staying in that dimension of thought and never going back to grounding, as you say, in the 3rd dimension again. You can find that you can stay within that flow from source. And the more that you do that, the more easily you're going to learn to communicate. It is a practice. And it is a practical step that you take. Learning to adjust your mind and your thoughts. Learning to think positively, being open about it. And also allowing every angel in your perimeter to help you to move your vibration up and to expand your mind and to open your mind, literally, intellectually, bring you to a higher state of intelligence. Because it's in a lower state of vibration that people think the low vibrational thoughts. When your mind is expanded and you're dreaming in a thoughtful state and you're communicating in a thoughtful state and you're moving in a thoughtful state, that vortex of action around you that flows and stays with you the longer that you stay in it and the more your body adjusts and adapts, the harder it is to shift to the third dimension because your frequency is too high to go there anymore. These are not secrets. It's just understanding the physics of the frequencies and knowing that those frequencies vibrate quickly, so therefore must your mind. My dear ones, the angels are there for you, for everything that you need for them to do for you. They can activate everything within your spine. If you cannot figure out the activation that doesn't work for you, then Lana can teach you how to do that. She can show you how to do that if you connect with her. And know that you can have those activations done with the angels and standing in your presence and doing it for you. They know what to do. And allow those to take place in that quiet moment. And allow that shift in your body, that uneasy feeling that you get, that feels so wonderful. Because your body is moving back up to the state that your mind knows it has to be, and your spiritual energy wants to and strives to and thrives to be there. So put away all of the thoughts about the doubts, all of the things about being crazy, all the things about being mistaken, and it's not for you. Because you have to have it. It's a must-have if you want to move into the future, my friends. First, get the activations. Open your mind to everything that you can, and the angels will assist you in every way possible. Give them free rein in your life. And your vibration will have to come up to meet theirs. Then you can talk with them. And you can get all the directions that you need, and all the peace of mind that you need, and all the loving concern, and the compassion that is being offered to you and made available to you in a world that has so little of it, my friends. Strive, practice, work. If it doesn't work the first time, keep trying. Peace be with you.